Have you felt it? That subtle tingling in your toes, maybe a stubborn cramp that jolts you awake at night, or even just an unshakable heaviness in your legs as the day wears on. So many of us brush these things aside, don't we? Oh, I'm just tired, or it must be a sign I'm getting older. But what if I told you these seemingly small annoyances could be your body's early warning system? A quiet whisper about something more significant happening beneath the surface, particularly with how your blood is flowing. Ignoring these signals, thinking they'll just go away on their own, well, that's a gamble many seniors unknowingly take. And the stakes? They could be incredibly high. We're talking about potentially losing that freedom to walk to the shop, to play with your grandkids, or even just to move around your own home with ease. It's about the quality of your life, your independence, and in some cases, these issues can escalate into truly serious, even life-threatening events. Now, I don't say this to scare you, but to empower you, because knowledge, especially when it comes to your health, is genuine power. You see, problems with blood circulation rarely announce themselves with a sudden bang. No, they tend to be far more insidious, developing slowly, almost stealthily. The competitor's video rightly points out that at first, it might just be a bit of swelling you notice or a fleeting discomfort you easily dismiss. But over time, what starts as minor can, if left unaddressed, morph into persistent pain, a deep-seated fatigue that coffee can't touch, real trouble walking, or even lead to more alarming concerns like blood clots, those troublesome varicose veins becoming more prominent, nerve damage, or heaven forbid, something as severe as a stroke. Now, why do so many of us wait until these whispers become shouts? I believe a big part of it is that pervasive myth that it's just part of getting older. We've almost been conditioned to accept a certain level of discomfort as inevitable. But is it really? Or are we sometimes too quick to surrender our vitality? Think about it. Your body is an incredible machine, constantly sending signals. That tingling isn't just a random occurrence, it's information. That cramp isn't just bad luck, it's a message. And if we don't learn to listen, truly listen, we miss the chance to act, to make small changes that can have a profound impact. It's like a faint smoke alarm chirp. You wouldn't ignore that, would you? These early circulatory signs are no different. They are your body's internal alarm system. The truly dangerous aspect of poor circulation, as the other video touches upon, is precisely how quietly it can develop. You might feel your toes are a bit chilly or your legs swell up after a long day, and just think, well, that's just me. But these are not trivial things. They are potential indicators that your vascular system, the incredible network of highways carrying life-giving blood, might be under strain. When veins or arteries lose their natural flexibility, or when blockages start to form, blood flow gets disrupted. This doesn't just mean discomfort. It can genuinely increase the risk of clots that could cause lasting damage. Before we dive deeper into what specific signs to watch for and what you can do, I'm curious, have you experienced any of these subtle signs yourself? Maybe a persistent coldness in your feet, or cramps that interrupt your sleep? Let me know in the comments below. Sharing our experiences can help us all learn. And it doesn't stop there. When your circulation is compromised, it's not just about oxygen and nutrients not reaching their destination. Think about what doesn't get removed. Your body also struggles to flush out toxins and waste products from your cells effectively. This can lead to a state of lingering, low-grade inflammation, make you more susceptible to infections, and even accelerate cellular aging. Yes, that's right, poor circulation can actually make your cells age faster. And your nerves? They're incredibly sensitive. Without that robust blood flow, especially in your legs and feet, nerves can suffer from an oxygen shortage. This can manifest as those sharp shooting pains, a burning sensation, or that unnerving numbness. It's a complex domino effect, and it all starts with how well your blood is moving. Some experts in regenerative medicine emphasize that blood flow is absolutely fundamental to every single aspect of healing and vitality. Without good circulation, truly nothing in the body functions optimally. But here's the really good news, the empowering part I mentioned earlier. Even with all these potential risks, poor circulation is often something that can be managed, improved, and sometimes even significantly reversed, especially if you catch it early. You don't necessarily need to jump to drastic measures. Often, simple daily changes, incorporating targeted nutrients, and understanding how certain natural vitamins can support your body can bring that crucial balance back to your blood vessels and protect you from more serious problems down the line. The video we're looking at highlights some key vitamins, and they're not some obscure, expensive synthetic compounds. They are often common, evidence-backed nutrients you might even have in your kitchen right now, or can easily get from Whole Foods. Now, when we talk about vitamins, I want to be crystal clear. This isn't about finding a magic pill to fix everything. As we've discussed on this channel before, particularly with things like calcium or even vitamin D, more isn't always better, and supplements can sometimes create imbalances if not used wisely. The real power comes from understanding how these nutrients work and prioritizing them through a balanced whole food diet first. Supplements can have their place, especially if there's a diagnosed deficiency, but they should always be a supplement to, not a replacement for, a healthy lifestyle. The goal is to support your body's natural wisdom, not to try and override it. So let's uncover these warning signs. Think of this as learning to read your body's unique language. The competitor's video lays out 5 major symptoms that often appear in a pattern, each potentially more telling than the last. Symptom 1. Changes in skin color of legs and feet. First, have you ever looked down at your ankles or feet and noticed they look unusually pale, perhaps a bit bluish, or even marked with darker, discolored patches? This might seem like just a cosmetic issue, something on the surface. But what if it's one of the earliest, most visible clues that your blood isn't circulating as efficiently as it should be? These color shifts often reflect poor oxygen delivery to the skin. Your skin is literally telling you it's not getting enough of what it needs. You might also find these areas feel distinctly colder to the touch than the rest of your body. And here's another telltale sign. If you get a small cut or a blister in these areas, does it seem to take an eternity to heal? This slow healing isn't just frustrating. It opens the door to infections and can lead to more serious complications. Does this sound familiar to anyone? That stubborn coldness or slow healing. Symptom 2. Cramps when walking or at night. Next up, those dreaded leg cramps. If you've ever been stopped in your tracks by a sudden, sharp cramp in your legs while you're simply walking, it's more than just an inconvenience. This kind of pain, especially if it strikes during movement and eases with rest, can be a significant indicator of a lack of oxygen reaching your leg muscles. Some call this intermittent claudication, and it's a common sign that the arteries in your legs might be narrowed. And what about those painful spasms that wake you from a sound sleep? They don't just rob you of rest, they can leave you feeling fatigued and drained the entire next day. You might rub your leg, stretch it out, and find temporary relief. But are you addressing the root cause? Often, the real culprit is an underlying issue with your circulatory health, secretly sabotaging your comfort and mobility. Symptom 3. Frequent tingling and numbness. Let's talk about that pins and needles sensation or outright numbness in your feet and legs. If this happens regularly, especially after you've been sitting or even standing for a while, please don't just dismiss it as "my foot fell asleep" or chalk it up to poor posture. When these sensations become a frequent visitor, they could be pointing to nerve stress. Why? Because insufficient blood is reaching your limbs and your nerves are feeling the strain. Over time, this isn't just uncomfortable. It can potentially result in what's known as peripheral nerve damage. This can slow down your reflexes, dull your sensation, making you less aware of injuries, and even make it harder to maintain your balance, increasing your risk of falls. These aren't just minor twinges to ignore. They are your body's early alerts about vascular-related nerve issues. It's a subtle loss of connection, isn't it? That feeling of not quite sensing the ground beneath you? Symptom 4. Cold feet, even on warm days. Do your feet feel like blocks of ice, even when the room is warm, or it's a pleasant day outside? This is a classic sign that warm, oxygen-rich blood isn't making it all the way to your extremities properly. This can happen when blood vessels are narrowed, hardened, or partially blocked. It might seem like a small thing, easily solved with thicker socks, but what if it's an indicator of underlying arterial problems, like atherosclerosis, where plaque builds up in your arteries? Beyond just being uncomfortable, this chronically reduced blood flow weakens your feet's natural defenses, making you more prone to those hard-to-heal cuts, infections, and general vulnerability. It's your body's way of saying, "Houston, we have a circulation problem in the lower decks." Symptom 5. Visible varicose veins and spider veins. And finally, one of the most visually obvious signs, the appearance of those bulging, twisted veins, often bluish or dark purple, commonly known as varicose veins. These veins become enlarged and prominent when the tiny valves inside them, which are supposed to keep blood flowing in one direction, upwards against gravity, weaken or fail. When this happens, blood can flow backward or pool in your lower limbs. This pooling creates extra pressure, stretching the vessel walls and leading to that familiar discomfort, swelling, and a persistent heaviness in the legs, especially noticeable after you've been standing for a long time or at the end of a tiring day. Alongside these larger varicose veins, you might also notice those tiny red or purple web-like lines near the skin's surface, often called spider veins. While they might seem purely cosmetic and less alarming, they too are a sign of compromised vein health and shouldn't simply be brushed off as an inevitable part of aging. Some experts in vascular health warn that thinking these signs are only cosmetic is a significant error. Poor venous flow is like a silent unraveling. If it's not addressed, it can lead to complications that are far more challenging to treat later on. If you're recognizing yourself in several of these descriptions, please don't just worry in silence. It's time to consult with a healthcare professional. Sometimes, a simple, non-invasive vascular ultrasound can identify issues before they become truly dangerous. Acting early truly offers the best chance of restoring your circulation and protecting your future mobility, often without needing invasive procedures. If you're finding this information valuable, if it's making you think, please take a moment to give this video a like. It really does help our channel reach more people who need to hear this message. Now, let's turn our attention to what the competitor's video highlights as natural support. 4 essential vitamins that can play a role in healthy circulation. Remember, our focus is on understanding their function and getting them primarily through whole foods. Vitamin B3. The vessel dilator. First up is vitamin B3, also known as niacin. This nutrient is described as a key player in improving circulation, primarily because it can help blood vessels expand or dilate. Think of it as making the highways wider for easier traffic flow. This natural expansion can make it easier for blood to move throughout your body, potentially reducing the chance of clots or blockages forming. When more oxygen and nutrients can reach your tissues, it can ease common symptoms like that nagging leg fatigue and cramping. Niacin is also often touted for heart health, helping to manage fats in the blood by reportedly lowering bad LDL cholesterol and increasing good HDL cholesterol, which can help prevent fatty buildup in arteries. My perspective and food sources. Now, where do you find this? Skinless chicken breast is a good source, as are eggs, salmon, tuna, and almonds. A decent serving of chicken can provide a good chunk of your daily needs. However, a word of caution with niacin supplements. High doses can sometimes lead to a niacin flush, a warm, red, itchy feeling on the skin. While generally harmless, it can be uncomfortable. This is another reason why getting nutrients from food is often the gentler, more balanced approach. Your body knows how to handle it best from natural sources. Vitamin C, the structural protector. Next, we have vitamin C. So much more than just an immune booster, right? It's presented as a structural protector for your blood vessels. How? It's vital for the production of collagen. And collagen isn't just for youthful skin. It's the fundamental protein that forms the support structure for your veins and arteries. Adequate collagen helps keep these vessels strong and elastic, preventing damage, bulging, and potentially lessening the development of those varicose veins. Plus, its anti-inflammatory properties can help ease swelling and reduce that dragging sensation in your legs. And of course, it's a potent antioxidant, shielding your blood vessels from cellular damage. My perspective and food sources. You know the common sources: citrus fruits like oranges and lemons. But did you know guava often packs more vitamin C than oranges? Berries, kiwi, broccoli, red peppers, and spinach are also fantastic. A key thing with vitamin C, it's a bit fragile. It can lose its potency when exposed to light or air for too long. So eating these foods fresh is truly your best bet to get the maximum benefit. Think of it as nature's repair crew for your internal plumbing. Vitamin K, the unsung hero of clot management and artery health. Third on the list is vitamin K, a nutrient that often flies under the radar but is absolutely vital. Its main role highlighted is in managing blood clotting, helping to prevent both excessive bleeding and the formation of harmful clots that could block arteries. But its value doesn't stop there. Crucially, vitamin K, particularly a form called K2, helps prevent arterial calcification. Remember our discussion on calcium supplements in a previous video? How too much calcium, if not directed properly, can cause problems. Vitamin K2 helps guide calcium into your bones and teeth and away from your arteries and soft tissues where it can cause stiffening and blockages. This protective effect is incredibly important. My perspective and food sources. Dark leafy greens are your champions here. Spinach, kale, arugula, broccoli. Some fruits like kiwi also chip in. A green smoothie in the morning with kale, perhaps some apple for sweetness, celery, and a bit of ginger can be a fantastic way to boost your intake. One important note: If you're on blood-thinning medications like warfarin, you don't necessarily need to avoid these foods, but you do need to keep your intake consistent so your doctor can adjust your medication appropriately. It's all about informed balance. Vitamin E, the vascular antioxidant defender. Lastly, vitamin E, often described as a protective antioxidant for the vascular system. Its job is to defend against oxidative stress, which, as we know, contributes to the premature aging and weakening of blood vessels. By neutralizing those harmful free radicals, vitamin E helps preserve the integrity and flexibility of your artery walls. It's also suggested to assist in preventing blood clots and may enhance the body's production of nitric oxide, a compound that helps blood vessels relax and widen, which can ease the burden on your heart and support healthy blood pressure. My perspective and food sources. Look for vitamin E in avocados, especially that darker green pulp near the skin, extra virgin olive oil, sunflower and pumpkin seeds, almonds and green veggies like spinach and broccoli. While vitamin E supplements are common, just like with other fat-soluble vitamins, overuse can have downsides like an increased risk of bleeding. So again, relying on whole foods is generally the safest and most effective way to get what your body needs, in a form it can readily use without overwhelming the system. So now that you're aware of these key symptoms linked to poor circulation and some of the powerful vitamins that can offer natural support, it's a good moment to step back and see the bigger picture. Circulatory issues, as we've explored, aren't just minor inconveniences to be endured. They can often be the first whispers of deeper, more silent health challenges that could affect your heart, your brain, and your precious mobility. Those numb toes, the leg cramps at night, the pale skin, that persistent heaviness, these are not just aging, they are urgent messages from your body. And here's the most encouraging part. You often don't need drastic, complicated measures to make a real, tangible difference. With awareness, mindful action, and a few simple lifestyle shifts, you can dramatically improve your circulation and shield yourself from more serious conditions. We're not talking about expensive, extreme solutions. We're talking about sustainable, everyday habits that can restore your energy, boost your vitality, and even contribute to a longer, healthier lifespan. Let's quickly recap the vitamin support team we discussed. Vitamin aims to enhance blood flow and helps balance cholesterol. Vitamin C supports vessel strength by boosting collagen and fighting inflammation. Vitamin K helps keep arteries clear and reduces risks of unwanted clotting and calcification. Vitamin E defends your vessels from oxidative damage and promotes relaxation for better flow. Each of these nutrients works in its own unique way, but together, when sourced primarily from a balanced diet, they can create a powerful support system for a more flexible, resilient cardiovascular system. And the best part? They're all found in delicious, everyday foods that are easy to weave into a healthy, well-rounded eating plan. If you're wondering, okay, this is a lot of information, what should I do first? Start with the absolute basics. Listen to your body. Really tune in. Take note of any unusual or persistent sensations. Maybe even jot them down in a journal if it helps you track them. 2. Make a few easy swaps. Could you try a fresh green smoothie in the morning? Can you replace that sugary, packaged snack with a handful of almonds or pumpkin seeds? Can you consciously add more dark leafy greens to your lunch or dinner? These small, consistent shifts lay the groundwork for significant improvements. 3. And crucially, If you are experiencing symptoms, if you have a family history of circulatory problems, or if you're currently on medications, please make sure to talk with your healthcare provider. They are your best resource to help tailor advice, adjust any treatments if necessary, and ensure you're making safe and effective choices for your unique body. And here's a gentle reminder to close with. Taking care of yourself, truly looking after your circulation, is an act of profound self-care. It means preserving your independence, improving how you move and sleep, and maintaining your peace of mind as you navigate daily life. It's about living fully, not just existing. If this video has helped you understand your health a little better, perhaps sparked a new awareness, please consider sharing it with someone you care about, a friend, a family member, who might also benefit from this knowledge. So many people live for years ignoring these subtle symptoms, and information like this, shared with care, can genuinely change and even save lives. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more content aimed at helping you stay strong and healthy as you age, and please share this video. And one last thing, I'd love to hear from you. What's your age, and where are you watching from today? And perhaps, what's one small step you feel inspired to take after watching this? Let's build a supportive community right here. Remember, better circulation, better health, often starts with the small, informed steps you can take today. We'll see you in the next video.